Today is the fourth anniversary of the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. Various events and programs are taking place, particularly communities like Valmiki Samaj, Gorkha Samaj, they are celebrating this day, but political parties like PDP are observing Black Day. Your reaction?
No, I think that hardly needs to be reacted upon because see, long time back, once I said in the parliament also, I said history will prove whether on Jammu and Kashmir Mukherjee was right or Nehru was right, and now the whole world. I think what has happened is a huge vindication, and maybe it was destined. It had to happen through Prime Minister Modi. It is something that the Congress party had accepted to be a temporary provision in the Constitution of India. In the course of discussion in the Constituent Assembly, the then Prime Minister Nehru had actually pacified Dr. Sama Prasad Mukherjee saying that ye dafa ghis jayegi. But they couldn't because their successive governments developed a vested interest in having 317 in place so that they could continue generation after generation with their dynastic rule. So Prime Minister Modi corrected an anomaly, which was an anomaly of the constitution, an anomaly of the democratic functioning. And most of all, he's done a great help to the common man of Jammu and Kashmir. Because the common man in the streets of Srinagar always wanted to be a part of the mainstream journey of India. And even today, the youth of Kashmir is highly aspirational, highly forward-looking, very futuristic, and they do not want to miss the bus. They see the huge lot of avenues and huge lot of startup opportunities, vocational opportunities, and the kind of the manner in which India has risen in the world arena under Prime Minister Modi. So they want to make the best of this opportunity available to them under the present regime, and therefore I think what Prime Minister Modi has done has the endorsement of the sentiment of the people of India, and more so including the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So it doesn't matter what a vested political party says or so.
Sir, after the revocation of Article 370 and 35A, we have seen that there has been a major crackdown on terrorism, separatism, and terror ecosystem in Jammu and Kashmir. Sir, still terror incidents are taking place. Targeted killings have taken place since the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. Sir, according to you, how long is it going to take before we can say that Jammu and Kashmir is terror-free?
No, I think what you said is absolutely right in the sense that the decisive action had not happened against terrorism because successive governments had certain political vested interests. So it was like walking two steps further, one step backward. Once there was a different kind of an arrangement where the security forces were given a free hand to crack down on the perpetrators of terrorism, whether they were domestic, whether they were the 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 perpetrators from outside. The results are there for everybody to see. Whereas there were more than 5,000 cases of stone pelting earlier, after the new arrangement came in, there's hardly been less than 400 or 500. So that apart, now as far as the targeted killings are concerned, of course the soft targeted killings are there, of course they are condemnable. But this also is an indication of the fact that terrorism is in the last leg. And as Prime Minister Modi said right after he took over in 2014, zero tolerance against terrorism, zero tolerance against corruption. I think he has every reason to say that he has walked the talk. Terrorism and corruption, they also have an interrelationship. They superimpose each other. And this is what has been worked upon against by the present government.
Dr. Singh, after the revocation of Article 370 and 35A, we have seen that delimitation exercise was carried out here in Jammu and Kashmir. Voter updation work was also done. Now, the biggest criticism that the Modi government faces is that assembly elections are being delayed, and political parties like National Conference and PDP are saying that BJP is scared of facing the people, and that is why elections are being delayed.
No, I think when they talk like this, they talk from the earlier mindset, the UPA mindset, which was issuing diktats to the constitutional bodies, whether it is the Election Commission of India, whether it is the CBI. They forget that this is a government run by Prime Minister Modi, which does not interfere in the integrity, the autonomy, the independence of the constitutional bodies like Election Commission of India. So Election Commission of India is free to take its own decisions. It's not Election Commission of India of the UPA times or the CBA of the UPA times, which the Supreme Court had decided as a pigeon in the cage. So I think the decision or the appropriate timing of an election is absolutely a prerogative of the Election Commission of India, depending on the inputs that they receive from different quarters.
Right. Dr. Singh, we know that many steps have been taken for the welfare of the Kashmiri Pandit government employees who are serving in the Kashmir Valley. But the larger issue remains the honorable and dignified return of Kashmiri Pandits to the valley, their proper rehabilitation. Many community organizations are saying that single place settlement is the best idea and the government must talk to the representatives of the Kashmiri Pandits. There has not been dialogue with the communities in last 9 years. How will you assure them?
I think if you see overall, the kind of concern and the kind of action on ground that has taken place under the present government in the last 9 years with respect to Kashmiri independence never happened before. And that because BJP as a party and also as a part of NDA was always committed to the concerns of Kashmiri Pandits. Just remember when in 1990 the exodus happened, the Shiv Sena, BJP in Maharashtra, they were the ones who provided them seats in higher education institutions, etc. So that commitment continues till today. Even today, a meaningful, decisive initiative has been taken by the present government itself, whether it's in the form of arrangements for the employees there, etc., etc. And as far as the return as a whole is concerned, I think the course of time will happen because it also is a multifactorial outcome. It also depends on how peaceful and receptive is the milieu there, which is also happening because the other community is also having a change of mind now because they know that they have been bluffed into this slogan of Azadi or whatever, and they've lost 2 generations in that.
So what will be the blueprint for their honorable rehabilitation in the Kashmir Valley?
No, I think whatever is the best possible way will be dealt upon. That in the course of time it will be decided.
Sir, as I said that many important decisions have been taken post the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. Some of these decisions are symbolic but very important. Like we used to call Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Now, as per the official terminology, we say Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. These are very important, steps that the government has taken. Similarly, sir, displaced Kashmiri Pandits are called migrants. The community is saying that this term should be replaced. It's an insulting term. It should be replaced with displaced Kashmiri Pandits, and the community should be given internally displaced person status.
No, regardless of official status or not, they are treated as displaced person, and they are given all kind of. They are treated with the same kind of concern because this BJP government, led by Prime Minister Modi, stands for justice for all and appeasement to none. And that's why an anomaly which persisted for 70 years, that of the refugees not getting citizenship or the voting rights, has been corrected by this government. Otherwise, the West Pakistan refugees who came down to settle over here were not entitled either to vote or to acquire the citizenship, which is quite in contrast with the fact that 2 or 3 of their own gender went on to become prime ministers. Mr. Inder Kumar Gujaral, Dr. Manmohan Singh. They belong to the same genre. So I think this is an anomaly which has been corrected by Prime Minister Modi very evidently. Even abrogation of 370, nobody believed, nobody expected. They made all kinds of claims that if anything like that is done, the heavens would fall. But so this government, led by Prime Minister Modi, has the courage and also the conviction. So courage of conviction to take the decision to move forward.
So will this terminology be changed, migrant terminology?
No, I think this migrant terminology is also coined by the media only. There is no official document like that. So it's being used interchangeably. Some are writing migrants, some are writing displaced. But there's no official word like that. So I think they are entitled to call themselves persons displaced within because this is the largest exodus happening within the country.
Right. Dr. Singh, West Pakistan refugees, people belonging to Gorkha Samaj, Valmiki Samaj, were denied political and civil rights in Jammu and Kashmir prior to abrogation of Article 370. And, there was not a 3-tier Panchayati Raj system prior to abrogation of Article 370. These important changes have taken place after the abrogation of Article 370. So my question to you is that why were these communities not given justice earlier?
See, there's a huge lot of political undertone behind it. Now, for example, 73, 74 amendment of, as you mentioned, of the Constitution. This was brought in when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. Now, the question that you should be asking them is that they had successive governments, both at the center and the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Why they didn't imply it in Jammu and Kashmir? Because it didn't suit them, their vested interests. They would get all the central grants meant for the PRIs, get it deposited in the Chief Minister's treasury or the Parliamentary Minister's treasury, and then distribute it like freebies wherever they required. So it's all vested interest going on. Similarly, not only not granting rights to the West Pakistan refugees, not even to the daughters of Kashmir.
Absolutely.
And there I don't wish to
It was
name.
an issue of gender inequality.
I don't wish to name, but there are at least 3 chief ministers, past chief ministers, whose daughters or whose sisters were deprived of property rights. But the loaves and fishes of power were so dear to them, they let their daughters or their sisters' right be sacrificed just to continue in the seat of power and then allow their progeny also to continue.
Many thanks for speaking to India Today.
Thank you, thank you.
So that was Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, who himself comes from Jammu and Kashmir. He's the MP from Udhampur Lok Sabha seat. He spoke exclusively to India Today, and he said that historic changes have taken place in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, and Jammu and Kashmir is now on the path of development and progress. With video journalist Neeraj Kumar, this is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jammu for India Today.